We're going to talk a little bit about keys and IDs and how we will use those in our applications when we're modeling data. So when we looked at our normalized data, we built a couple of different tables, and sometimes when we're building tables, we're going to have some kind of natural key. A key is basically a unique way to identify the record or the information or the entity that we're actually storing. So if you look at these courses, sometimes we're going to call courses by a particular mechanism for the numbering, or we're gonna have some kind of reasoning for why the course number is what it is. And in that case, we'd call that a natural key. That key exists, or the meaning of that key exists outside of the database. So CS1520, CS445, CS447, these are all natural keys. They have some level of meaning. They have some understanding outside of the context of the database. Whereas an artificial key often is just a number or a large ID, or maybe a globally unique identifier that really only has meaning in the context of the database or the data storage mechanism. So in this case, we could just auto number each instructor with 1, 2, 3, 4, but this number doesn't really have any meaning outside of the database. It's only used to kind of identify this particular record or this entity to other tables. Now, we may also have associations or foreign keys. So a natural key and artificial key, we typically would use those as primary keys, which is the way that we identify the record or the entity that we're storing. With foreign keys, these are references to other tables, references to other keys in other tables. So in this case, CS1520 would be a foreign key to the courses, whereas in 3 would be a foreign key to instructors. So this should line up with one of the keys for another table. So a key is simply a way of identifying data. It's a way to define, what that particular entity is or that record of data is. A primary key is a unique identifier for a particular entry of data. Now, natural versus artificial key. Natural key basically has some meaning outside of the database. It occurs naturally, whereas an artificial key is generated typically. It only has meaning inside of the database, often generated. Though sometimes, in a weird way, artificial keys become a little bit more natural, because when you start having database IDs that are used or referenced outside of databases, sometimes those IDs take on interesting meanings in the real world. So a little bit of a backward approach there, but natural keys have meaning outside of the database, and artificial keys are basically designed for the purposes of the database. And a foreign key uses the primary keys of other information to maintain that referential integrity. So referential integrity basically means that most databases will have a mechanism that you can't delete data if other data refers to it. You have to delete the referential data first. That allows you to maintain that referential integrity that becomes very important when your data is very normalized. This allows you to make sure that you're not losing any data, or data isn't orphaned in your database. So referential integrity and foreign keys can be very effective when we're dealing with a relational database management system. Another thing that we might want to do, and that's going to be important for the purposes of this class, is indexing. So indexing allows us to look up data very quickly. And if you think about this, think about like an algorithm that might allow you to look up data very quickly, like storing data in a tree or storing it in a hash table. You wouldn't necessarily want to store all of the data that you need to find in a hash table or in a tree, but if you do so, you can look things up very quickly. In a hash table, you can look things up in big O of 1 time, constant time, and with a tree, you could look up things in big O of log n time. So that's way more effective than just doing a linear search, which would be big O of n time. So indexing allows, taking an indexing approach allows us to look up data very quickly when necessary. However, that's going to have costs, as far as organizing that data and storing, the data structures necessary. So we don't necessarily index everything, but some data is often useful to index. So different systems are going to take different approaches, but by organizing data into a structure that supports fast lookup, you can make your data access very fast. And relational database management systems will often do this for you for data that has a primary key or has some other type of key. And you can also often create indexes on other columns or other elements of data so that you can look things up very quickly in that way as well. But indexing allows systems to associate, when you're joining data together, when you're associating data, if you have that index, then it's very quick to look things up. And, often joins or, accessing data across multiple tables may not be very fast if your data is not indexed, because you fall back to that sort of linear sequential search, which is not necessarily the greatest way to access things. But I think that you'll find for the purposes of this course that things will build will probably be a little bit more isolated into single tables. But even so, if we need to look up on any particular value in one of those tables, indexing can be very effective. So hopefully this will add in a few more concepts that will be necessary for us to get in and start modeling data. Next up, we'll get a little bit more involved in how we might actually practice this. And then we'll talk a little bit more further about modeling data and how we might make some decisions there. Thank you for watching.